Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me to come and talk about our Elevate Small Business Program. I joined UVA Community Credit Union last year at the end of November as the Senior Vice President of Marketing. And it has been an amazing introduction into the credit union world. I reside outside of Richmond in Powhatan and have been in community banking all of my career. I've worked for multiple community banks throughout the region, and I definitely had a passion for this. That I'll tell you, the credit union world is totally different, which is very, very exciting. Um, I am very passionate about this program, which we'll get into in just a second. But I wanted to mention and call out my good friend Trip for inviting me to come this morning. We should have planned a little bit better. I probably would have spent the night and been there in person, but that's here nor there. But I've really enjoyed getting to know the community of Culpeper. I have some friends that have lived there and visited socially, but from a professional perspective, Trip, I joke and call him the mayor of Culpeper, has been great to introduce me to the true essence of the community. And you guys are really doing some amazing things on really empowering the small business community, which I just think is amazing, and very excited about our partnership that we've had thus far. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the program. So Elevate Small Business. The credit union developed this actually last year, and before I joined the credit union, and had done some amazing work with this program. And really what it is all about is to really empower and inspire small businesses and to be that true resource to help the small business community, no matter what the need is. It can be anywhere from you just need a relationship with a bank to operate your basic checking and savings needs, to the other side of the house where you really need a partner to help you grow and expand your business, to provide you the financing, to provide you that counseling that you need for your small business. So in developing the Elevate program, we really sat back and said, you know what, we don't want to be that bank or that financial institution that just says, hey, we believe in small business. You all have seen, and I'm not going to get into the competitor bashing here by no means, but you've seen the commercials from the big guys, talking about, hey, we believe in small business, or in talking to them, but really, really be providing a true small business banking toolkit is what this program is all about. So our strategy is pretty simple. From a marketing perspective, we have, of course, and I'll get into the details of the program, we have flexible options, but we want to present ourselves as the small business partner of choice through Elevate. And how we're going about that from a marketing perspective is trying to stand out among the clutter throughout the marketplace, both in branch scenarios, in the community, online, virtual. There are so many options out there, not just for small businesses, but for consumers, for their banking provider of choice. And we really want to showcase that how this program is different, and the partnership that we can provide. And the way that we're doing that is really trying to market by bringing a true voice to small business. My background, as I mentioned, has been in community banking, and I actually, in the Richmond market, helped spearhead and stand up a program for women entrepreneurs, and really learned a ton about the challenges, not just that women in business face, but just as businesses face. When you start a small business, obviously there's a lot to uncover, from, just getting up and running, all the tax implications, all the things that you have to, wear as a small business owner. But then once you, become established, and just keeping that going, as many of you know, you wear a lot of hats, and there's a lot of of anxiety, and there's a lot of variables that are out of your control. And having a true financial partner to be there right along your side is what we definitely, aspire to do. And so, what we want to do is speak about small business and the importance of it, and not just, throw a bunch of products on our website to say, hey, come to talk to us from a small business perspective. So I'm sure Tripp, hopefully he did his job and brought some marketing materials there. But if not, we can certainly walk through these. As I said, we want to provide a true business banking toolkit. And so what that means is a variety of things. We have flexible funding options that we certainly can provide to our small business members through, your basic checking and savings accounts, all online banking, merchant services to run your business. From a, a lending option perspective, any type of lending that, we can certainly provide, from vehicle loans, equipment loans. And this is more in Tripp's world, so he certainly can speak to this more effectively than I can. We also, want to help you in from a business network perspective. So what that means is being that business resource where we engage with local business owners. We have a plethora of opportunities to help educate our business members on their journey through their business. And, that's not only on the credit union side, but it's also partnering with our community partners, such as, the SBA, the Small Business Development Center, the CIC Community Investment Collaborative program are three partners that we currently have, and we are building off of that. In addition to that, the credit union offers financial wellness education, and you'll see more of that in the coming months, because that's one of the areas that's very important to us, is really trying to educate. We all need education. We all need to continue to educate. We all know that, you should never stop learning. And from a business perspective, I know personally, I actually am a small business owner myself, and, I'm constantly learning of, what I need to do to take that business to the next level. Elevate is a really easy program to be part of. What we look for businesses to be part of the program is that you've been established for 2 years. That as far as the maximum number of business owners, we would like you to have at least two. And then, of course, but not saying that is a requirement. And annual gross revenue, what we look at specifically to be in the Elevate program is under $1 million. And really what that is really trying to, partner and inspire small businesses. To be a member, all we ask is that you're a member of the credit union. That's it. And to be a member of the credit union, obviously you just need to live, work. I say live, work, or play around our area, and that's all that we ask in order to be a member of the credit union. Currently today, membership and to join the Elevate program is through in branch. We are working with our technology partners to make this available online, which is obviously a challenge, because we all know small businesses are very, very busy, and a small business owner, taking that time and going to the bank and to actually sit down and have that conversation. But there are ways certainly that we can go about to streamline that, as far as having conversations in advance, having your documents ready for you, and talking through that sales funnel, which Tripp obviously has a lot of experience in that as well. So that's high level about the Elevate program. Some additional features of Elevate that I think is very important to mention is, that we not only have the products and services to help a small business and the technology to help a small business run your business effectively, but what is the most important thing, in my opinion, is the relationship. I remember a couple years ago when I was starting up, I mentioned a program for women entrepreneurs, and just doing some research with former customers of a bank I worked for. And she told me how, and she was at a credit union in the Hampton Roads area, and she had walked in and just said, hey, I'm so and so business, and I want to talk to somebody about opening a business account. And right there in the lobby, the branch manager started asking her all these personal questions, and not really, I mean, financial questions, obviously, but not really taking in consideration of, hey, let's step aside, let's have a personal conversation behind closed doors, and really focusing on the relationship of it. With Elevate, what we have done specifically is created champions for the program. And so what that means is, and these are some of our champions of the Elevate program. What that means is that we have specific people within our company that are experts in small business and really can help navigate you through, whatever it is that you need, whether it's, you want to talk about capital. Hey, your credit needs improved. So we're going to talk to you about, give you some guidance and education on what you can do to be approved for that particular financing. Or, you're looking for some technology, that maybe the bank can provide you to help run your business, more smooth. Or just, what are my investment options? Or, hey, I want to stand up a 401k program for my customer or my employees. Or, I want to help my employees with employee engagement. So what we've spent a lot of time on is really the foundation of helping grow the Elevate program through our people. And in doing so, we've developed these champions that are assigned to the different branches to really be that spokesperson for the credit union for small business, which is very different. Obviously, a lot of banks have your commercial lenders, your small business bankers that are on staff. But this team is different, where they have gone through over 18 months of in-depth training on writing business plans and understanding financial statements and how you can really help guide your small business member, no matter what their need is. So that is something that we definitely are proud of and will continue to grow with that. They meet on a monthly basis. This is one that I've obviously made them smile for a photo op for marketing, but wanted to share that detail. So, we can sit here and talk about how great Elevate is out in the community. We've highlighted, some different small business members, but I also think that understanding the authenticity of a brand and of a program is looking inside and looking inside of the organization and how our teammates feel about the Elevate program. So we had, when we launched Elevate, we did a big marketing launch, I think in March, April, and really brought this to life at the credit union. And that they had, like I said, had developed it a year ago, but they really hadn't put a personality behind Elevate and a brand behind Elevate. And so these are just some pictures of some celebrations that we had within the branch when we kicked it off to celebrate the program. And as you can see, the different personalities of our branches, and obviously we have our Culpeper location there that just has a ton of personality behind this program and excitement for the program. It's also something that our senior management and our leadership is very proud of. Our CEO, Susan Gruber, is very proud of Elevate. And we really believe that this is a gold mine opportunity for us in the communities to really help drive the importance and help small businesses grow. And this, of course, is just a fun little picture of, we were at a UVA women's basketball game and had some of our teammates there. During Small Business Month, we took a big stance with this and had a series of events and just celebration of Elevate. And one of the things that we do differently with our marketing and how we promote Elevate is not about us. I've, as working in banking, and you've probably seen commercials and ads of bankers standing behind, the big checks about how much money they've given to X nonprofit, or, the boring photos of the commercial banker, no Trip standing behind the desk, shaking the hand. We really want to be different with this and really promote the business itself. So what we do with this is really try to give our business communities opportunities to promote themselves. So what you'll see here, for example, with Wild Birds Unlimited, which is one of our members, we invite small businesses to come into our branches and to display their business totally free. That's just a perk of being a member of us, where they can set up a table and they can showcase their merchandise or showcase what they're doing. That is an ongoing program that we do at the credit union and will continue to expand upon. From a social media perspective, we also every week we incorporate Elevate into our social media. So see, these are some of our members that we've showcased within the marketing of the Elevate program, which we're very excited about. We go out and we regularly video and interview our members and give them an opportunity to tell their story, because I think that's another benefit. Advertising costs, as many of you know, very expensive. Marketing costs are expensive. How you reach people today versus you did 5-10 years ago. Nobody reads the newspaper. We are bombarded with messages, and so really trying to give our small business members the opportunity to tell their story is really what we're interested in, want to make sure that we focus on. So, we have an opportunity to make an impact on our members and on our communities, and that's really what Elevate is all about. And it is something that, we've taken time and really tried to focus on how do we go to market, how do we improve. We really hit the ground running with Small Business Month, but there will be more to come. We definitely are looking for partners like, the Chamber and other organizations where we can, share our message and really talk about how we can make an impact in the business community. And so that concludes. I wanted to show a video, but I think I might have to read. Let me see if this will work. Probably not. Can you hear that?
No.
Not coming through.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me see here. Let me see what I can do. Hold, please. Let me try this again. There we go. I have to include the sound. Okay. Let's try this again. So I mentioned one of the aspects of the program is obviously not about, the credit union, and it's about our members and about our community. So we actually have on YouTube, we've created an Elevate channel. It's called Elevate Small Business, and we will load on here, and there's a series of also, you get the non-stuff, but we have loaded a series of videos, and we will continue to do this. We're very proud that we have featured quite a bit of small businesses in the Culpeper community. I've said this, I wish, more communities were like Culpeper, and just so excited to inspire and promote small business. But I'm going to try to show you this. This is just one of our commercials that we developed to promote the program. Let's see if you can hear it this time. So there we go.
Running your
that?
business is a big job. UVA Community Credit Union is here to lend you a hand.
Elevate your small business.
Introducing Elevate Small Business, your business banking toolkit. With Elevate, you have access to a business resource network, flexible banking options, and a dedicated team to champion your business.
Elevate your small business.
Let's elevate your business today. Stop by a branch or visit us online at uvacreditunion.org.
Were you able to see that?
We were able to hear it, but not
You
to
weren't.
see
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry. I just realized I didn't share it. Hold on one second. I apologize. Let me move this over here. Here we go. Now, third time's a charm, right?
There we go.
All the woes of virtual technology. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go.
Running your business is a big job. UVA Community Credit Union is here to lend you a hand.
Elevate your small business.
Introducing Elevate Small Business, your business banking toolkit. With Elevate, you have access to a business resource network, flexible banking options, and a dedicated team to champion your business.
Elevate your small business.
Let's elevate your business today. Stop by a branch or visit us online at uvacreditunion.org.
There we go. Okay. So in closing, I think, one of the closing messages I wanted to, first of all, again, thank you for letting me talk about the Elevate program. Certainly will obviously open up for questions. But, we really want to just inspire and promote small business. We're not looking for any particular size of business to be in the program. I mean, it can be, your small LLC getting started to, any industry, we certainly are open to. And just, it's all about the relationship and how we can really help and inspire our small business community. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of give you a high level overview of the program. And now I would like to, if you have any questions, open up for any questions or comments that you have.
And I'd like to share one thing that I think everybody wants to hear. I think the real benefit in this program is that we've incorporated some consumer-based underwriting. So
Oh,
we're not
yes.
getting a pint of blood when we go after someone. We're also not always requesting a personal financial statement, which is a big deal for a lot of the small businesses. And we're using some other techniques to come to that decision more quickly. It's a little bit of a quicker process. And there's really not a financial organization since I've been doing in banking. Every situation is flowed the same way, and we've got to get 3 years of tax returns and personal financial statement and really prove our case on paper. We still need to make sure that we're providing the right advice to the member that comes in, but it's a much more streamlined process. And to that point, as Michelle mentioned, we have 5 champions throughout our network that are handling this. And so, I think that particularly with Culpeper and the way the chamber is made up, I mean, it's really a lot of small businesses. And these are folks that do things that I wasn't familiar with in the past. Some of them, they have internet-based businesses. Some of them, have retail. In the video, you saw Bonnie Reb. I mean, she's a hoot. You saw Green Roost. And there's an ad that has been coming on Channel 29 as well through this that folks are seeing. Capital Enterprises, that was Dale Dillon, who has a kind of a striping business. And then I didn't see it in this one, but K&S Porter-Johns. I mean, again, these are rank and file businesses
Yeah.
that so much appreciate the extra marketing that's been done at no expense to them. And so it's a real lift. And Michelle's brought a lot of energy to this program, and she's come up with the concept of going on site. I felt like a producer for a day. It was kind of cool.
Trip's our talent agent. Anytime I need talent, I'm like, Trip, who do you know? Help me out here. Trip mentioned with NBC, and I didn't share that. So one of the additional aspects of it is, to go to a small business and say, hey, you have the opportunity to be on local network TV is huge. And we obviously take the bear of the expense with this. What I did is worked out a partnership with NBC that we would actually send their team out on the street and actually go in and talk to our small businesses. And, we're starting with the ones, of course, that we have already, done the commercials just to get the ball rolling. But now we'll be looking at other businesses. But they basically go in, have a quick conversation about them, let them talk about their business. And it's not about us. It's not, obviously our logo's on it at the very end, but it gives that business the opportunity to showcase themselves on live network TV, but also on digital as well. And, they are, we of course, in the top network where people go for local news. I mean, source weather. I mean, especially when we have weather alerts. I mean, that's where the community, drives. And so it's given them an extra added benefit of being a member of the credit union. And I can tell you hands down, all the other banks aren't doing this. And that's what's the exciting thing is that we really believe in promoting, the small business community and want to, look for avenues like that. We have big dreams and aspirations for this program next year. We want to put together a small business award program. We're looking for partners like you all to come up with unique events that we can maybe, think through on how we can showcase small businesses and give them the opportunity to get their message out. So Trip, I'll continue or turn that back over to you. Turn Trip and I, we can talk all day, obviously. As you all know.
As a small business owner, early in business owning, financial assistance is needed. I've heard there is a waiting period of 2 years. What is this about? Waiting period from the registration, the incorporation, or what from what?
I guess that's difficult to answer. It should be a lot more streamlined than that. You know, one of to your point, and if you're speaking of your business, that's a pretty big one. So that would be maybe that would probably not fit into Elevate, although we love having it here in the community and the large businesses. This is really going to be, you know, what happens when someone comes. We talked about the fact that we prefer the business to be open for 2 years. There's some, it depends on, there are a couple of depends on that, what their background's been beforehand and if they're in the same industry. That being said, the person would come in and we would have a conversation. We'd point them to the things that they need to do, you know, make sure they get an attorney or somebody of that nature to help them establish the right entity. We'd point them to the BDC, which is right here. And then we'd also invite them to some of the coursework that the CIC has, Community Investment Collaborative. And, you know, if a situation with a small business comes into play, the champions always will call me and, you know, we'll further that education if we need to. You know, a lot of times, just for y'all's information, if a business has contacted the SBDC and gone through a program, they get preferential treatment if there's need to involve the SBA in a lending decision. And so there are all kinds of little things that are out there that our community is very involved with. And I think with Brian taking the economic development twist and looking at our small businesses and kind of the fabric of what will bring a large business here, it's, you know, we're really in sync with that. And I wanted to,
You can join the credit, like if I'm a small business and I just got my EIN and I just want a checking account, it's the Elevate program, which is in addition to just having a checking.
well, that's part of it, but to your point, live, work, and worship in our community. We have a community-based charter. You know, case in point, 6 years ago, 6.5 now. I've been at the credit union for 6 years. Yeah, I didn't know what a credit union was. I mean, it was a foreign entity to me. And I think I've shared this before. The credit union credit unions are taking the place of community banks that continue to get snapped up, particularly on the eastern side of the country. The Midwest, there's still a number of community banks, but you know, they're stock companies. We're not a stock company. We're a not-for-profit, not a nonprofit, but a not-for-profit. So a stock company can be a great investment, but ultimately, you know, some of our great local banks have moved into different spaces because their stock prices has been attractive to someone else and they've been kind of swallowed up. And that's not to say those entities aren't useful, but the difference that we're making is that a small business comes in and our antennae is up and how can we help and what can we do? There's no, you know, there's not a necessity always to make an appointment, but we have 5 champions spread out throughout I think our 17 branch network, you know, to help them proceed quickly. But I probably ramble a little bit, but Brian, absolutely, someone comes in that works in our community. You know, we're ready to open up and help them right away.
But to get into the Elevate, that's what you want, the 2 year.
Yes, and I'm the one that always is trying to push the envelope for us to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think the reason that I don't want to acquiesce to that right away is it could have been someone that was in that industry for a long time, and they've got some strong financial background, and so we can one-off things from time to time. But typically, we want to be able to see, you know, we're always looking for trends. A banker is always working with imperfect information. We're trying to use past history to predict what's going to happen in the future. So that's where the 2 years comes in.
Just for clarification, I was not thinking of my company when
Oh,
I asked the
gotcha.
question, but a little new business I talked to you about.
Okay.
It's next to the post office in Elkwood. She just, I mean, maybe half a year, max a year, opened her business, not a small area, small business, and she wants to grow, but she doesn't know. And
Well, we can get, I mean, again, this is not for
that's
me.
what I was talking about.
Gotcha. So I don't want this to come off as a sales pitch for the credit union. I just want to share what we're doing, and I think it's different. But here's a case in point. You know, we go out and meet her. If there's this issue with the 2 years, I can involve the CIC, which has programs for lending. I refer a lot of people to the Community Investment Collaborative. There's also People Inc. in our community that does small business lending and actually can lend up to a little bit more than what a
Okay.
typical small. So what we're trying to do is we're not we find success when the business owner finds success, and that success is always not measured in loans, um, and so forth. We are hopeful that we can help them on a deposit basis, but that we're still not going to stop helping them. I think that's kind of the key. But
Okay.
great point.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Glad for clarification because your business is pretty big, and I was going down the wrong path. They
I
make
will-
parts for airplanes.
Oh, cool.
As a joint strike fighter. I will drop off this pamphlet, and will give her your information.
Yeah, they can call me and I
And then
can
she can
help.
call you
And or one of the
take
cool
from
things,
there.
we do have one of our champions in our office, so here in Culpeper, so it's pretty
Yeah.
helpful.
Thank you.
You're talking about the Culpeper office. Obviously, we're all familiar with Culpeper office. We're all familiar with Charlottesville. How many counties do you all cover? Not to this program, but obviously this program's entrenched in all of your offices or through your offices. How many different counties do you all cover?
So if you look at it, we're considered kind of the northern region. So we have Fauquier, Culpeper, we backfill all the way to Charlottesville through Madison and Greene, and then we go down to Louisa, Orange, Fluvanna, back up through Nelson. We're across the Blue Ridge Mountain now, but I think our desire is to be in the Spotsylvania area to continue to
Yep.
move in that direction in the in the middle of the state. And so when you do something like that, you've got to go through the state regulators, and it's a process. Because again, credit unions are a little different than banks. Historically, a community bank preferred to lend money in its own area. And so obviously, we're a little bit more bound by that. But that's actually, we also go down to Lynchburg. But we really put our
You
emphasis.
have branch offices in Lynchburg.
We don't, but we could if we want to. And so I have a deal I'm working on right now in Bedford County, which is not normal, but it's someone that has dealt with our mortgage company, is known to our group, and we may assist them on a
Thank you.
commercial transaction.
And we also will be, we have purchased property in Harrisonburg. And so next year we will be opening a branch in Harrisonburg as well. So that's pretty exciting too. Other questions, comments? I think that's a no.
Mhm.
Well, I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to share a little bit about Elevate. We definitely want to continue to grow this program and really be that voice for small businesses and help them in the community. So, we appreciate your partnership with us. I know I'm still new to the credit union and figuring out all the um, advocates for us, but the community of Culpeper is awesome. Trip has been great to introduce me to many lovely people there, and just so welcoming and friendly. And I think what and downtown Culpeper, just the essence of small business is so neat. And so we really look forward to continuing our relationship with the chamber. Chambers are so important to small businesses and something that I'm very passionate about. So appreciate that. I appreciate the time. And do you have any other questions? We'd love to answer. And